Hey everyone, Decav13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Stay Night. Almost forgot the name of the game I was playing there for a second. Yeah, yesterday we kind of just took Saber in. Tosaka Rin definitely made our position clear that she is our enemy 100%. She will kill us. Also, she's going to start targeting Caster. We saw an interlude. Also, just things are getting crazy at the Emiya house already. Saber, Taiga, and Sakura are living there now, so that's great. Alright, so let's start up day 5 and see where exactly, or what exactly we're going to be doing today. So February 4th. Today is Bonnie and Clyde. Referring to who and who? Shirou and Rin? I guess we'll find out. Winter, 5 years ago. It was a beautiful moonlit night. I was just enjoying the sight with my father, Kiritsugu Emiya. It was winter, but it wasn't very cold. On the veranda, it was just a little chilly. Perfect weather to watch the moon. Kiritsugu didn't go outside much anymore. He rarely went out, and he spent most of his time lounging around the house. Every time I recall this, I still feel regret. Why didn't I realize that he was acting the way any creature does when they know their time is almost up? He blurted it out, just out of nowhere. My father, who already seemed like a hero of justice in my eyes, said that as if he were reflecting on a memory. I asked, unable to completely hide my disappointment. Kiritsugu smiled apologetically and looked up at the distant moon. That made sense. That made sense to me. Fuck it. I wasn't sure why, but if Kiritsugu said it, then it had to be true. I mean, it's not like we haven't seen this scene already before. Kiritsugu nodded in agreement, so I just kind of blurted something out as if it were a natural thing to say. Because I'll make it a reality. The bold promise made my father smile. His face said everything I needed to know. Kiritsugu made a long, contented sigh and whispered, There he closed his eyes, and so too his life came to a close. This happened in the winter 5 years ago. Such was the parting that would determine the course of his life. The night that Shirou Emiya swore to be a hero of justice. There's no way I could forget. I never talk about this, but I still remember it. 10 years ago, a man saved me from a fire. He said thank you as he picked up the child who was unconscious, covered in burns, and on the verge of dying. That he was glad to have found him. He smiled, as if thanking someone, saying that he was glad to have been able to rescue at least one person. The emotion that I felt then is engraved in my mind. Nobody saved me. I couldn't save anyone. In the midst of that, I was the only person that was saved, and there was only one person who saved me. That's why I decided to be like him. I wanted to become a hero of justice that saves people and doesn't let anyone die. Even if it was a childish fantasy, I dreamt of doing so. And then, Kiritsugu, who was the embodiment of my dream himself, left behind his dream of becoming something like that and died peacefully. It's only natural for a child to follow in their father's footsteps. Shirou Emiya must become a hero of justice and save someone like me. Yes, I strongly swore so as a child. Shirou Emiya would fulfill the dream on behalf of the man that he admired more than anyone else. But I don't really know, to be honest. If the way that I think is correct, where that way of thinking comes from, what I can do as an amateur. How to make the dream of making everyone happy that Kiritsugu would often mention, which is itself as far-fetched as magic, come true. Oh, and what I can do as a master now. There's too many things to think about that my head feels like it's about to burst. A nostalgic dream filters through my mind, and then I wake up. The bright morning light comes in through the window. It's chilly in my room, and my body feels it despite a blanket wrapped around me. I shake my head and change from my coveralls to my school uniform. It's a bit before 6 a.m. Sakura's probably already up and making breakfast. I make my way out to the yard and take in the morning air. Ah, it's a good morning. Though I'm preoccupied by the thought of the 3 girls also staying here. I'd be hard-pressed to call Fujine a girl. Anyway, now let's go help Sakura. I'll go help Sakura out. She's making breakfast for 4 people, so it'll take longer. I also want to ask about her last night. Or I also want to ask her about last night. Seems like Saber went with my story, but it's entirely possible they didn't get along, and I want to make sure everything's alright. I put on an apron and make my way into the kitchen. As always, Sakura is quick and efficient. She doesn't seem to be putting on a front, so it doesn't look like yesterday is particularly bothering her, but...
Sakura, Sakura と藤根とセイバー3人で寝ただろ。Sakura、セイバーが住むことを気にしてたみたいだからどうなのかなって。
どうなのかなじゃわかりませんよ先輩。もっとはっきり言ってくれないと答えてあげません。
だから仲良くやってくれると嬉しいんだが。
ああ、セイバーさんと私が仲良くすると先輩は嬉しいんですか？
嬉しいっていうか助かる。セイバーの住み込みはさくらに無断で決めちまっただろ。だからさくらが怒るのは当然で、セイバーを嫌うのも仕方がないことだ。けどそのあたりを多めに見てくれて、セイバーに優しくしてもらえると、なんていうか。
セイバーさんにじゃなくて私に嬉しい。
It's embarrassing to say it out loud, so I just nod. Yeah. I'd be thankful if she overlooked this and got along with Saber. Since Sakura is like family, I don't want her upset over something that I did without her input.
はい、そういうことならお答えしちゃいます。セイバーさんと私たちは昨夜の霊地をもって完全に和解しました。私はまだセイバーさんは苦手ですけど、それでも仲良くやっていけると思います。あの人、わかりづらいけど可愛い人ですから。
Sakura's smile is genuine and heartfelt. That makes me really happy. It truly does, but...
可愛いってセイバーが？
そうですよ。藤村先生なんてセイバーちゃんって呼んでますし、セイバーさんも慣れてくれたみたいです。本当は監視するための同室だったんですけど、今夜も3人で寝ようってことになっちゃいました。
That's nice. That is an unexpected turn of events. But Saber's cute side, huh? She certainly is rather beautiful, but cute doesn't seem quite right. Everyone digs in. This is the first time that the 4 of us are eating around the dining table. I can't help but feel that this is nice.
あれ、これ微妙に薄味だな。 出汁変えたのか、さくら。
はい、セーバーさんお味噌汁に慣れてないと思って。あんまりお味噌が濃いのもダメかなって。
そうですね。昨夜の味付けより今朝の方が美味しいと思う。ですがさくら、私も和風の食事には慣れていますから、そう気を使わず自由に調理してください。その方が。
そうなんですか。わあ、ちゃんとお箸持ててる。びっくりしました。セーバーさんって器用なんですね。
慣れていますから。ですが正直に言うと箸は疲れます。フォークやナイフより優れた道具だとは思うのですが。
Really?
そうだね。セーバーちゃんはお箸よりナイフとフォークだよね。それ違う違う。かけるのはソースじゃなくて醤油。
なるほど。忠告感謝します。
よしよし、報酬として海苔を1枚いただきましょう。はい、白おかわり。
はい。食いすぎて二度寝するなよ。
先生、今日の朝練に参加されるなら少し控えた方がいいと思いますけど。
大丈夫大丈夫。これぐらい入れておかないとお昼まで持たないもの。そういうさくらちゃんだって朝練の後におにぎり食べてるじゃない。
先生、知ってたんですか？
無ふり。端っこでこそこそやってるから気になって観察してたのよ。ダメよ、いい年頃の女の子が朝2食なんて。悪魔はこっそりとある日テロリストのように体重計に舞い降りるんだから私の読みではさくらちゃんの今の体重は。
ダメです先生。言ったらもうご飯作りに来ませんから。
Oh. Now you're asking for the wrath of Sakura.
それに間食は時々だけです。いつもそんなことしてるわけじゃありません。
あれ、そうなのか。朝飯いつも一部多く炊かれてたから、てっきりさくらが握り飯でも作ってるんだろうなって思ってたんだけど。
先輩も知ってたんですか？
ダメダメさくらちゃん。シロね、そういう細かいことには妙に神経質なやつだから、きっと初めておやつを作った時から気づいてたわよ。
初めて？それって去年の夏のこと？
Oh, Sakura.
さくら、空中に埃でもあるのですか？
This poor
そんなところ
girl.
で手を振って。
I'm dealing with these two idiots first thing in the morning. Breakfast proceeds like that. The morning is twice as noisy as usual. In the midst of that,
今朝未明に発見された被害者は50名を超え、現在は最寄りの救急病院で治療を受けており、
some disturbing news is on the TV.
シントでまたガス漏れ。うわー、今度は50人だって。何？被害者には昨夜から連絡が取れず、何人かの家族は不審に思い会社に連絡。警備員に確認させたところ、社内に残っている社員はいなかったとのこと。何これ。夕方からみんなビルの中で倒れてたのに、どうして警備員が気がつかないかな。職務怠慢とかそういうレベルの話じゃないよね。
Fujine must have lost her appetite as she stops eating her third bowl of rice. Saber's watching the news with a grim expression. In that case, there's no doubt. I don't know what their motive is, but this is something done by a master. It's fortunate there were no deaths like the other gas leak incidents, but...
もう物騒だな。シロ、しばらくシントでアルバイトするのは禁止だからね。貯金ならたくさんあるんだから、こんな時ぐらいゆっくりしなさい。
I appreciate that she's worried about me, but I can't reply. This is no time to be working anyway, but I won't be able to come home as often now that I'm at war. And so, when I can't come home, I'll have to lie and say I'm working so I don't make Fujine and Sakura worry. I finish cleaning up and go to the front door. Fujine and Sakura already left for morning practice. Saber's trying to follow me again like yesterday, but I can't let her do that today. The weekends are fine, but there's no way I can bring Saber to school on a weekday.
セイバー、言っとくけど、ここまでだぞ。学校に行っている間はここにいてくれ。セイバーと一緒に学校に行ったら騒ぎが大きくなるし、何より目立つ。マスターは人目につくのは避けるべきなんだろ？
She must not be satisfied as she silently protests.
だから大丈夫だって。人気があるところでは襲われないんだから、学校は安全だ。それにさ、身を守るだけなら俺一人でもなんとかなる。
Saber's eyebrow twitches. She must have an objection about the fact that I can protect myself.
一つ尋ねますが、それはシロを一人で敵を倒せるという意味ですか？
まさか。昼間なら一人でも危険を回避できるってことだ。
Man, how different Shirou is at this point in all of Blade Works compared to the other path. Like, dude would have been ready to take on a servant at this point. He completely underestimated them, but no, he has a good estimation of their power this time around.
人気のないところには近づかないし、日が落ちる前に帰ってくる。それならセイバーも納得がいくだろ。お前だって魔力を温存するために休んでなくちゃいけないんだから、無理してついてくること。
わかりました。マスターがそう言うのなら、私は信じざるを得ませんね。
She's seriously worried about my safety. I feel bad for turning her down.
悪い、セイバー。けど大丈夫だって。それにさ、俺の身に何かあったら、セイバーにも伝わるんだろ？もしそうなったら、駆けつけてくれればいいじゃないか。
いいえ、そうはいかないでしょう。私とシロのつながりは細い。マスターの危機が私に伝わるときは、シロの命そのものが危うくなっているときだ。そうなってから駆けつけても遅すぎる。
じゃあ、俺の方からセイバーを呼べばいいのか？
はい。シロが私を必要だと思えば、それはあなたのサーバントである私に伝わります。それでも間に合わないと判断したときは、レイジを使ってください。レイジのバックアップがあるのなら、空間を飛んでシロの守りとなることができるでしょう。
Jump through space. That's really close to true magic, I think. The right to absolute obedience, the command spell, is something that powerful?
わかった。できるだけそんな事態にならないように立ち回る。日が落ちるまでには帰ってくるから、セイバーは留守を守っていてくれ。
I wave her goodbye and put my hand on the door.
はい。どうか気をつけてください、シロ。あなたの学校は異常です。行動には細心の注意を。特にリンには出会わないように。
Right, because we are enemies.
学校で遠坂が仕掛けてくるっていうのか？まさか。
Just don't be
それ
alone
こ
with
そ
her,
ありえないだろう。
I guess. She is truly a mage. The association's rule not to involve any innocent people is ingrained in her. She seems set on wearing the mask of the model student. I would think she would even greet me casually if we see each other at school.
そうだといいのですが、リンは人目を気にして判断を鈍らせるタイプではありません。それにシロを敵視しているようですから、気をつけるに越したことはないでしょう。
はいはい。取り越し苦労だとは思うけど、気をつける。
It's past 7 a.m. It's later than usual, but I should make it on time without having to hurry. It's 7:40 a.m. I go through the gate with plenty of time, and as I make my way to the building, I'm overcome with a strange feeling and stop in place.
なんだ？別に何がおかしいってわけじゃないよな。
It's not like someone is watching me, nor is the view any different. If anything, it would be that it's muted. Like there's some sort of illusion going on. Everything. The students, the trees, even the school buildings all feel like they lost their color.
気のせいかな。いろいろあって 過敏になってるのかもしれない。
I close my eyes and rotate my shoulders. But, even after taking a deep breath, that unknown strange feeling doesn't disappear. I go up to the third floor and head to my classroom. Then, I run into Tosaka.
Yo.
Since we do know each other now, I casually greet her. But Tosaka is frozen as if she saw a ghost.
遠坂なんだよ。顔になんかついてるのか？
I wipe my cheek with the sleeve of my uniform. Tosaka still doesn't reply. She looks away and goes back to her classroom. I'm confused. What was with that reaction? I don't think it's like her to ignore someone who greeted her. The strange feeling hits me again once I enter the classroom. Someone might have brought in some snacks here since I smell something slightly sweet.
別にいつも通りの教室だよな。
I greet the other boys and sit at my seat. There's 10 more minutes until homeroom starts. I look around the classroom and notice a seat without a bag.
シンジのやつ欠席か。
Come to think of it, he missed yesterday's practice too. Despite how he looks, Shinji is punctual and tries hard to follow the rules. It bothers me a bit that a guy like that has been absent for 2 days. It's lunchtime. I usually go to the student council room on days like that I make my own lunch. If I eat in the classroom, the guys will take my food and the girls will tease me.
なんだ一星、お前昼は食べないのか？
ああ、先ほど済ませた。今はともかく眠くてな。昼休みが終わる前に起こしてくれ。
I wonder, is the blood fort activating already? Issei says and puts his head down on the table.
なんだ、徹夜でもしたのか？お山じゃ、11時には絶対就寝じゃなかったっけ？
そうなのだが、最近寝つきが良くない。いくら眠っても疲れが取れなくてな。おかげでここ数日は暇さえあれば眠っている。
なんだそりゃ。暇さえあれば眠ってるんなら眠気なんてないだろう。
ああ、そうなのだがな。いくら眠っても疲れが取れないゆえ、疲れを取るために眠らざるを得ないのだ。矛盾していると分かってはいるのだが、眠いものは仕方がない。
春にはまだ早いんだけどな、一星。
春眠暁を覚えずか。誠に耳が痛い。
Issei doesn't even try to get up. Nothing for it, I guess. Seems pretty bad, so I'll keep him company until break is over.
あれ、ああ、エイセ、誰か来たぞ。
知らん。生徒会は店じまいだと言ってやれ。
いや、そう言ってもいいんだが、やってきたのはくずき先生っぽいぞ。
それはまずい。
Issei slowly gets up and opens the door.
竜道、今朝の弓道部の件だが。
Oh? Kuzuki stops his words after seeing that I'm here. Soichiro Kuzuki is the homeroom teacher of Class 2A, and also in charge of the student council. He's the strictest teacher of the school and regarded as unfriendly. Oops, wrong button.
それじゃあ、うちにも帰ってないんですか？
She?
そのようだ。おそらく刑事事件になるだろう。分かっているだろうが、むやみに話すことは避けるように。
それは分かっています。ですが、そうなるとマトはどうしたんですか？あいつが昨日会っていたと弓道部の1年が言っていたじゃないですか。
それに関しても同じだ。的尾真司も無断欠席しており、家も留守だそうだ。妹である的尾さくらは藤村先生の家に泊まっていたというし、事情は知らされていない。
first years at the club, huh? Or some girl. Issei and Kuzuki are talking about disturbing stuff. To summarize what I overheard, there's a student that has been missing since yesterday, and Shinji's the last person she was seen with.
邪魔をしたな。そういった事情もある。また下校時間が早まるだろう。
Kuzuki just states his business and leaves.
まったく。なあエミヤ、お前シンジを見なかったか？
いや、見てない。今朝は弓道場にも行かなかったし、あいつが休んでることはお前も知ってるだろ。
そうか、それならいいんだな。
Issei's face clouds over. Well, this sucks. It's not something I should poke my nose into, but it seems like this concerns the Kyudo Club. Sorry for Issei, but I should get some information out of him.
日生、昨日から家に帰ってないとか言ってたけど、それって誰なんだ？いや、シンジのやつも捕まらないってのは分かったけど。
ん？そうだな。エミヤも部外者というわけではないし、知っておいてもいいだろう。昨日の夜の話だ。弓道部の練習に出た娘が帰ってこないという連絡があったな。至急練習に参加した生徒たちに話を聞いたところ、行方不明になった生徒と最後に話していたのはシンジだと分かったのだ。
Shinji, huh?
ちょっと待った。シンジは昨日の練習にはいなかったぞ。それに弓道部のみんなとはちゃんと校門で別れたんだが。
ああ、エミヤもいたらしいな。話はその後だ。忘れ物をした1年生が戻った時、シンジが道場の前にいたらしい。その時にな、シンジとそいつが口喧嘩をしてたそうなんだ。
I have a bad feeling. If there was someone still at the dojo, there can only be one person.
いいっせ、肝心な話をぼかすな。それで昨日から行方不明になってる生徒ってのは誰なんだ？
三辻
I
彩
had a feeling.
子、弓道部の師匠だ。
That's not great.
彼女は道場の鍵を職員室に戻した後、弓道場前で見かけられてから一向に行方が知れない。
Issei averts his gaze, as if it's hard to say. Classes are over. I don't know if it's because of the incident, but club practices are cancelled for today. The library seems to be closed as well, and the students who are done with their homeroom class hurry home. There's an announcement telling students to go home unless they have some special reason. I'm the only one left in the 2C classroom. The other classrooms are probably the same, so I should hurry, or else I'll be the only one stranded in this building. Let me ask around before that. I can't leave without doing anything after finding out that Mitsuzuri's gone missing. She's strong and has more arm muscle than some guys. It's a big deal that she's gone missing, and most of all, I can't ignore it as her friend.
悪い、セイバー。少しやることができた。
I apologize to Saber and leave the classroom. I should go talk to people in Mitsuzuri's class, 2A.
あやこちゃんなら風邪でお休みしてますよ。
三辻なら休みだ。弓道部員ならそれぐらい知っているだろう。
だから欠席だって。鬼のかく乱さ。あいつの無遅刻無欠席もここで終わりだよね。
That's all I could get from the girls getting ready to go home. It seems like everyone in Class 2A has been told that Mitsuzuri is absent due to illness.
邪魔したな。明日三辻が来たらこのことは黙っててくれ。
I wave goodbye and leave. If there's anything else, there's only the archery range left, but...
誰もいないか。そうだよな。部活は休みなんだから。
The door to the range is shut tight. There doesn't seem to be anyone inside, so there's no reason to be here.
一斉に聞いてみるか。あれからなんか分かったかもしれないし。
It's been 3 hours since lunch. There's a possibility that Mitsuzuri has already been found and it turned out to be nothing at all. Man, I didn't think the student council room would be closed as well. There's barely anybody at school, so it would be hard to ask around any further.
とりあえず戻ろう。三辻のことなんだから、藤姉がなんか知ってるだろうし。
I grab my bag and go out into the hallway. The sky is tinted crimson. The sun is setting and it should get dark in an hour or so. I get to the stairs on the 3rd floor. As I sling my bag and start to make my way back home, I hear a sound above my head. I look up. There. Oh boy. Hey, Ren. Tosaka is standing firmly at the top of the stairs leading to the 4th floor.
あれトサカまだ残ってたのか
She doesn't answer. First this morning and now this. I feel like her stink eye gets worse every time I see her.
なんだよ話がないなら行くぞ俺
I raise my bag to show her I'm going home now.
は
What now? The sign Tosaka gives is telling me she's had it up to here.
あ呆れた。サーバントを連れずに学校に来るなんて正気？
She mutters in a voice without emotion.
正気かってそんなの当然だろだいたいセイバーは霊体化できないんだから学校に連れてこれるわけないじゃないか
それなら学校なんて休みなさい。マスターがサーバント抜きでのこのこ歩いてるなんて殺してくださいって言ってるようなものよ。エミヤ君、自分がどれくらいおバカか分かってる？
おバカってトサカこそバカなこと言うなよなマスターは人目のあるところじゃ戦わないんだろなら日中特に学校なんて問題外じゃないか
ふんじゃあ聞くけどここは人目のあるところかしら
There it is.
は
Come on, Shirou. Put your brain to work. What is she saying? I'll need to check to see if others can see.
あれ
How did this... Conveniently, there's no one around. There's no one in the 3rd floor hallway. I'm sure it's also the same for the 4th and 2nd floor. The school building, bathed in the setting sun, is completely still. At this rate, there must only be students or teachers on the 1st floor.
ようやく分かったみたいね。ほんと、朝は呆れたのを通り越して頭にきたわ。あれだけ教えてあげたのに、どうして自分からやられに来るのかって。
The harsh tone of voice, Tosaka rolls up her left arm's sleeve. What is... a pale and slender arm. On that feminine arm, something like a glowing tattoo appears. It's not a command spell. Could that be... I don't have one, but is that a magic crest? The proof of a real mage family?
説明するまでもないわよね。これが私の家に伝わる魔術の結晶よ。ここに刻まれた魔術なら、私は魔力を通すだけで発動させることができる。
Right. The magic crest is like an attached engine, separate from the magic circuit in the mage. There's no complicated incantation or procedure to follow. It's an ultimate shortcut mechanism that makes the car called Magecraft run by just turning it on. But consequently, the magic crest won't show up unless it is in use. A magic crest is like another magic circuit that is formed when the owner passes magical energy through it.
アーチャーは帰らせたわ。あなたぐらいこの刻印に刻まれた呪いで十分だもの。
Her voice is flat, almost mechanical. That makes me realize that she's serious.
逃げてもいいけど辛いだけよ。どうせ勝つのは私なんだから。
She says coldly. But my mind is all over the place. We're going to seriously fight here? Why here? Why now? Most importantly of all, why does it have to be against Tosaka?
待てトサカお前正気かここ学校だぞ下手に騒げば誰がやってくるか分かったもんじゃ
その時はその時よ。私ね、目の前のチャンスは逃さない主義なの。エミヤ君には悪いけど、ここで片付けさせてもらうわ。それに、今日みたいにフラフラされてたら、私の神経が持ちそうにないし。
だから待てって。だいたい俺はトサカと戦う気なんて。
あなたになくても私にはあるの。いいから覚悟なさい、シロ。
Tosaka makes a declaration of war and moves her arm. Just what kind of magecraft is that? The instant Tosaka points her left arm towards me, my vision is filled with light. It's about 4 steps if I leap towards the stairs leading to the 2nd floor. If I'm about to retreat back to the hallway, it'll also take me about 4 steps to get to Tosaka's blind spot. There's no time. I should jump back to the hallway. Just by instinct, I leap without looking. I use Tosaka's blind spot, the corner of the hallway, as a shield, and jump sideways with all my might. Just barely, I slide into the hallway. I hear her click her tongue irritatingly, and something heavy hit the wall. I look behind me as I stand up. The wall that was behind me has something sizzling and smoking coming out of it. And, to be more specific, there are 3 fist-sized burn marks on the wall. A projectile weapon. No, that's a curse that infects the target with illness. I think the gander shot that Tosaka was talking about is from Northern European rune magecraft. It's an indirect curse that can worsen the condition of the person by pointing at them. That should just be a curse that makes a person feel sick. It shouldn't be anything like physically striking something with a projectile. And yet, Tosaka's gander is so packed full of magical energy, it manifests like a bullet. Like, it doesn't just appear similar to a bullet, but it strikes like one too. Wow, that's expected of Tosaka. There's usually a limit to how much force one can turn a slow curse into an immediate curse.
殺す気かあいつ。
この、だからそうだって言ったでしょ。
Her descending footsteps echo behind me. I regain my balance and take off at full speed. No time. I have no time. I have to get out of here.
廊下はやばい。
Can't do that. There's no cover. Tosaka's weapon is a projectile, so if I just run down the hallway, it'll funnel the shots right into my back.
そこ、動くな。
Tosaka leaps out from around the corner, and just in time, a hair ahead of her. I dive into the classroom beside me, room 2F. Gander shots fill the hall. It seems like Tosaka fired the moment she cleared the staircase.
冗談、あんなの相手にできるか。何が戦いだ。そもそも戦力が違うぞ、戦力が。
I urgently look around the classroom. I need protection. Is there some shield or clothes or bulletproof vest that would protect me even if I got shot?
やば、来た。
Tosaka's footsteps stop at the entrance of the classroom. I'm sure she saw me run in here. Maybe she's wary of a counterattack, so she just froze outside.
なわけあるか、バカ。
I run. As I dart from one side of the classroom to the other, sprinting towards the exit up front. A hail of bullets mercilessly fly through the air. Oh god, she's shooting like crazy. The bullets penetrate the wall, shooting radially inside the classroom.
背中にかすったぞ、背中に。
If I hesitated for a moment longer, I'd have been hit center mass.
嘘、なんでピンシャンしてんのよ、あんたは。
Rin Tosaka springs into the classroom. There are about 4 meters between us, and as we stand at both entrances in the front and back of the classroom, we glare at each other again. But I have to... I jump out to the hallway. Escaping through the classroom is not an option. At this point, I can only sprint towards the stairs. Man, she really is merciless. I think it scraped my temple just now. My side too.
本気かお前。そんな当たったらただじゃ済まないじゃないか。
当然、ただで済むほど甘くないわ。痛いのが嫌なら止まりなさい。そしたらすぐ楽にしてあげるから。
The bullets fly through the air. And just why does it sound even more like actual bullets now?
待て、お前感度打ってるんじゃないのか。殺意以外感じない音だぞ、それ。
うるさい。ならちょこまか逃げるな。標的が動き回るから狙いに熱が入るんじゃない。
The gunshots echo even louder, but in the nick of time, I barely make it to the stairs by the 2A classroom. I run down the stairs. Making it this far brings me closer to victory. I reach the landing to the 2nd story. If I can get to the 1st floor, even Tosaka won't go through the trouble to follow me. I'm speechless. Tosaka took a shortcut by jumping over the stairway handrail. By which I mean, in order to get down to the first floor from these stairs, I now have Tosaka barring the way in front of me. She smiles confidently.
驚いた。体軽いんだな、父さん。前は精肉があるとか言ってたのに。
That's just gonna make her want to kill you even more, man. Yeah, I think I can see a vein pop on her forehead. It's scary how I'm getting used to this. The instant I realize it's coming, my legs send me jumping sideways as I hear the sound of bullets hitting the wall. I flee in the opposite direction. The good news is I'm down to the second floor hallway. If I'm able to make good time, I can get to the first floor where I'm sure even Tosaka won't...
うわ、また来た。しつこいぞ、父さんが。いい加減諦めろ。
そっちこそ往生際が悪い。命までは取らないんだからおとなしくしなさいよね。
You're totally gonna kill him! What do you mean you're not gonna kill him? I don't know if it's because she's seriously serious, or just because she lost it from the goose chase I've given her. But if Tosaka's shots get any louder, someone's gonna call the cops on us for sure.
そんな心配してる場合じゃないぞ、これ。
With the power increase comes bigger bullets, too. The near misses from the so-called curse felt hot before. Now they're torching everything in their path. One gander just faintly scrapes my leg. My speed drops immediately. The instant I know she'll catch up to me before I make it to the stairs, I fling myself into the nearest classroom. Inside, I make for a window. So now, I should be able to manage a jump from the second story window. I'll get shot if I go back into the hall, so this looks like the better choice. Oh boy. I hear Tosaka's voice in the hallway. Something like a thin membrane envelops the classroom. Oh, can't escape out the window now. The moment I realize that it's a bounded field with some sort of soundproofing effect, I know exactly what she's going to do. I dive toward the wall by the windows. I can feel a strong magecraft being activated. Quickly, I append a desk and crouch behind it. This isn't like the gander she's fired until now. I close my eyes and place my hand on the underside of the desk. She's making an incantation. Even though she has the help from her magic crest, Tosaka's chanting a spell. Will I make it? No, I have to make it. I skip all stages of the process, creating a second set of nerves in my spine, and pour as much magical energy as possible into the desk. Light and sound explode. It's an ordinary day after school, and this mundane everyday classroom is suddenly a dance floor. The desk stands. The magical energy being released here is nothing like the pistol fire from before. This is more like a machine gun in terms of coverage and speed. I don't know exactly what effect this curse filled with magical energy has, but it's strong enough to be visible to the human eye. As it has mass, it destroys everything it touches. The desks that are lined up in the classroom go wild like a person set ablaze. My eardrums are already screwed from the sounds of the dancing desks and echoing bullets. A battlefield might actually be a more apt description. Despite that, there's not a single crack in the windows. It must be the power of the bounded field that Tosaka put up. Right now, this classroom is an enclosed space. Even if one can enter, they can't leave. Dozens of bullets fired in here are no exception, and even these loud sounds don't escape the room. Damn. Even when she looks like she's going apeshit, Tosaka is a calculating mage through and through. I put as much energy as I can produce into my makeshift shield. The desk is under the effect of strengthening, the one kind of magecraft I'm any good at, giving me a defense against this magical rain. But that's only for a brief moment. My strengthening can only endure 3 seconds from the rain of bullets. As a result, I redo the spell the instant that it wears off and have to repeat this for as long as my magical energy lasts, but... The rain does not stop. Maybe Tosaka knows what's going on in this classroom. She might still be attacking since she knows that I'm still blocking her attacks like this. In that case, this rain would stop when... While focusing my energy on the desk, I slump my shoulders. Now let's compare our stamina. We'll just have to see who concedes first. It's like the match has already been decided. I feel like I got KO'd 15 seconds into the first round. I'm not wounded and I've still got stamina to spare, but I'm stuck and can't do anything if I run out of magical energy.
しかしまたこれは。
I peek from behind the desk. The smoke filling the classroom makes everything hazy. I hear a clanging sound. My hand bumps into some kind of rod on the floor.
椅子の足だ。また派手に壊したもんだよな、あいつ。
Well, I guess it can be used to make a makeshift weapon. The rod is about 20 centimeters long. I take hold and pour remaining magical energy I can into it.
うまくいった。なんだ、本番なら100発100中じゃないか、俺。
I try a practice swing with a strengthened club. Well, things won't get better if I just sit here. I'll just be full of holes if she attacks again. Maybe I use too much magical energy as I can't even stand. And I can't even breathe in the smoke.
いぶり出しか。くそ。爪まで完璧じゃないか、あいつ。
Tosaka's experienced in fighting. She'll just corner me if I stay here. I'm sure she's waiting for me in the hallway, but I can't escape from the window because of the weird bounded field. I make up my mind and go to the hallway. With the numbness of my feet still there, I push past the wreckage of desks and crawl forward in the white smoke before me. Then beyond the scorched ruins. Tosaka is waiting for me with her shoulders heaving. I glare at her and manage to pull myself up. Guess the numbness is temporary and I can move my legs if I really try. Not that mobility will be enough. Tosaka is only winded from all the running around. She's got plenty of magical energy to spare. I've got no magical energy left. She's just a bit low on stamina. The moment we resume this battle, I'm gonna be shot down for sure.
勝負あったわ。ほら、そのへんてこな武器を捨てなさいよ。こうなったらエミヤ君に勝ち目なんてないでしょ。
Rin Tosaka gloats over her victory. That pisses me off. Honestly, I know I have no chance in hell, but I can't help but feel insulted.
そんなのやってみなくちゃわからないだろう。肩で息してるくせに偉そうなこと言うな、バカ。
I point the leg of the chair at Tosaka as a sign I'm gonna go down swinging.
そう。わかったわ。おとなしくするなら優しくしてあげようって思ったけど、そんなのはいらないおせっかいだったみたいね。ええ、だから初めに謝っておくわ、エミヤ君。
She grins. I wish she wouldn't make such an ominous smile.
謝るってなんでさ。というか、今さら謝られてもこの恨みは忘れないぞ。
ええ、私が謝るのはこれからのことよ、エミヤ君。だって下手に抵抗されたら手加減はできなくなるでしょ。手元が狂ってあなたを殺しちゃったらもう謝罪はできないじゃない。
Shit, she's serious. Not that she hasn't been serious up to now, but this seems like she's had her last breaker flipped. I now realize I'm truly just a sitting duck, and earlier she was just getting her ducks in a row.
やっと分かってくれた？よかった。これだけ言ってまだぼんやりしたこと吐かれたら、それこそどうかしてたから、私。
どうかってどんなさ。
She glares at me. Okay. Something brainless like that. Yeah, got it.
これが最後の忠告よ。そのへんてこな武器を捨ててレイジを出しなさい。最悪腕の神経を剥がすことになるけど、命を取られるよりはいいでしょ。
Give up my command spells. Those aren't something I can afford to give, and most of all...
ダメだ。それはできない。
聞いておくけど、なんでよ。
レイジは渡せない。それは俺にセイバーを裏切れって言ってるのと変わらない。
そう。3秒あげるわ。自分の命だもの、自分で選びなさい。
Tosaka raises her left arm. I bet she'll fire a gander the moment I refuse. Can I accept my loss against Tosaka?
3秒。エミヤ君、返事は？
We stare at each other. Did I just hear a scream coming from below?
遠坂今の
悲鳴だったわよね。
I immediately stand up and start running.
ちょっと場所は分かってるのエミヤ君。
知るか下からってことしかわからなかった。
ちょっと待った今結界を解くから。
I run down the stairs.
待ってたら一人で先走ったら危ないわよ。
そんな場合か。さっきの悲鳴どう聞いても普通じゃなかったぞ。
分かってるわよ。だから危ないって言ってるんじゃないバカ。
Oh. I go down to the first floor. At first glance, the hall looks empty. But then I spot a female student lying on the floor at the far end. No. The student is in a heap in front of the emergency exit.
よかった。気を失ってるだけか。
I run to the student to check if she's okay. Is she a first year? She's unconscious, but I don't see any bleeding or wounds, so she seems alright.
そんなわけないでしょ。こんなに顔青くして中身が空っぽだってわからない。
中身が空っぽ。
魔力、もっと極端に言えば生命力よ。キャスターにやられた人と同じ。いいえ、あれよりもっとたちが悪い。この子放っておいたら死ぬわ。
死ぬって傷一つないのにか。
外が無事でも中が空っぽなら動かなくなるのは当たり前でしょ。血が全然足りないのよ。待ってて、これぐらいなら手持ちの石でなんとか。
She rifles through her pockets. Thank God. Seems serious, but Tosaka seems to know how to cure her. She kneels over and treats the collapsed student. From her profile, she looks incredibly serious. She tends to the student as sweat forms on her forehead. What is it? It's... her expression is so laser-focused it pains me to just look at it. I feel like it isn't the first time I've seen...
ああ、もう気が散る。エミヤ君、そこのドア閉めてくれる？風で髪が乱れるのよ。
ああ、あの非常口だな。
I look at the open door. Huh? Open? Come to think of it, we haven't even discovered why the girl collapsed in the first place. It's not like she did this on her own. Somebody obviously attacked her. It didn't even take us a minute to get here, so if the culprit fled, it had to be out this door. Is it because I was looking in that direction? I can just make out something dark flying in our direction. I shield Tosaka with my right arm.
何よそれ。エミヤ君、腕に。
A shadowy dagger is pierced right through my arm. Rider. Okay, so yeah, Shinji's attacking people. That makes sense. Protruding from between my elbow and wrist is something that resembles a nail. No, it's far too large to just be a nail. And whatever it is, it's completely skewered my forearm.
なんでそんな。ああ、今はそうじゃなくて、血がそんなに出てるのに、痛くないの？
痛い。とんでもなく痛い。
But it hurts so much that I can't panic. More importantly, looks like this thing was aimed at Tosaka's head.
父さん、その子任せた。
I get ready to run. There's no time to wait for her response. With my left hand, I adjust the grip on the metal pipe I'd strengthened earlier and fly out the emergency exit. My right arm dangles as I run. Everything below the elbow is red from blood. Is it just bad luck with limbs for me today? Tosaka tells me to hand over one hand with the command spells on it. Now my other hand is practically severed from the rest of me.
この辺りだ。間違いない。
I look around. Though I don't know who or what did this, I can feel them drawing me out. Whoever attacked that female student, whatever attacked Tosaka with that dagger is nearby. I haven't lost them yet. If I close my eyes, I can feel the dark magical energy moving.
弓道場の裏。雑木林か。
I jump over the fence and run across the mossy ground. Then... Yup. Between the trees, concealed amongst the thicket, a familiar face takes one look at me and laughs.
Shinji?
I stop without thinking. Just what is he doing here? He's supposed to be missing. Wait, no. Mitsuzuri is the one that's missing. Shinji's the last one who saw her and... My injured arm throbs. The moment I'm about to fall forward, a nail-like dagger is thrust at my throat. I managed to dodge. Instead of going backwards or sideways, I fell on my tumbling body and rolled forward to avoid the blow. My throat. It scraped my throat. My skin's cut. Even then, I'm lucky. If I'd been any slower, it would have cut through bone and sinew. I scramble up. In front of me stands a smiling woman clothed in black.
Sabato.
I don't even have to check. The concentration of magical energy far beyond that of a human. Not even Tosaka compares. I don't know what class she is, but her spiritual presence is greater than a human, without a doubt. The shadow vanishes from my vision. Instinctively, I can feel death's swift approach. I desperately swing my weapon above my head. The rod is able to repel the nail coming at my head from above. I don't know if she's somehow related to a spider or something, but she's leaping and clinging to the trees like one. I run. It must have been chance that I was able to block that. There's no way I'll be able to dodge another, and fleeing is out of the question. I make it to a nearby tree and put it to my back. That's one direction that I should be safe from, or so I have to believe if I have any chance at this. I don't see the servant in black anywhere. She might be jumping from branch to branch since she hasn't come down to the ground at all. Sweat rolls down my forehead. I can hear the sound of jangling chains. It's like the rattle of a snake ready to strike. Under the tree, I try my best to suppress my mirthless laughter. The sound of chains echo through the woods. In this life and death situation where the next attack is sure to kill me, my mind is blank. I have no sense of time. The guillotine just hangs in the air. That's what's strange. The battle should be over by now, but I'm still alive. How strange. Maybe that last attack killed me and my mind is now blank from wanting to believe that my fear of a surprise attack is actually a posthumous dream. I can't compete against a servant by myself. Then I'll have to rely on her. Command spells. If I use a command spell and call Saber, I should be able to get out of this predicament. But can I? I'm the one who got myself into this death trap. Then I should be the one who to handle it. And most of all, that's right. I have a weapon in my hand, even if it is a shoddy one. And I can still move. If the location is bad, I can just move. I can call for Saber after that. The voice echoes. Above. So she was hiding up in the tree. And well, to be honest, I don't really know how to use it either. I search for her exact location. Where's her voice coming from?
私もやり方を変えましょう。サーバントのいないマスターに本気は出せませんから。あなたは優しく殺してあげます。
The voice goes silent. Only the sound of chains echoes through the woods. She's coming. What I have to do is get out of these woods. But to do so, I would have to block this servant's nail weapon multiple times. The fact that I only have the leg of a chair that I strengthened to defend myself is so pathetic that it's funny. If only this thing was impressive like his blades, then I could not only block but even counterattack. I don't have the time to be thinking about what ifs. It's takes about 30 meters to get out of the woods. This isn't much compared to the chase I had with Tosaka. I run. I ignore the harsh sound of chains and run frantically towards the exit. I repel the attack from above. Then I block the roundhouse kick from the servant that landed on the ground to my left. She's in front of me now. I think she's getting irritated from having her blows blocked, but I managed to deflect another onslaught. The servant in black retreats. It's just chance. Just like the first attack, blocking everything else has been because of fortunate happenstance. I can't even see the enemy. For someone like that to be able to survive, it is nothing but pure luck. But, is it really that common? No. What if my assumptions were wrong in the first place? The first attack. A surprise attack to my head. Such attacks that would be impossible for Shirou Emiya to dodge. There's no way that coincidence is lining up this much. The servant in black mutters to herself. A surprisingly beautiful, sensual voice, despite the irritation evident in it.
大したことないな。他のサーバントに比べたら迫力不足だ。
I swing at the servant standing in my way. The servant in black blocks my blow and jumps back, her hair flowing in the wake. There's nothing in my way now. The servant in black retreated. If I just keep going at a few more meters like this.
いいえ、そこまでです。あなたは初めから私に囚われているのですから。
My body falls. Rather, I'm being pulled backwards. My right arm hurts. Some unknown force is dragging my skewered arm back.
まだわかりませんか？あなたの腕に刺さったそれは私の杭だということに。
お前の杭。
That makes me realize. Extending from her weapon, the grating sound of metal against metal, the sound of chains. I've been hearing them ever since leaving that doorway, and I reach out for my right arm with my left hand, but it's too late. Dragged by some invisible force, my arm flies up and out of reach. With no mercy to my agony, it lifts me into the air. The nail piercing my arm is attached to a chain. The chain extends up into the canopy, using a branch as a fulcrum, and leaving me strung up by it.
Sate, 先ほどは何か興味深いことを言ってらしたようですが。
The servant in black approaches. I can't run away or fight now that I'm suspended in the air.
この私が他のサーバントに戻ると困りました。その認識を改めさせなければあなたを殺すのは難しい。
I'm like a sacrifice. It's like I've been sent to the gallows in a western. The nail-like dagger is raised. The servant in black licks the tip of it.
そうですね。まずはその誤った目からいただきます。残った天使はその後に。
She makes a nimble jump and appears right before me, suspended 3 meters in the air. The nail is swung downwards. My body can still move. I know not one. Let's fight with the remaining left arm. I still have this weapon in my hand. Still suspended in the air, I swing with all my might using my other hand. She must have known it was coming. The servant in black dodges in midair. This Grim Reaper smirks. I desperately swing my body to avoid it, but it's no use. The servant mercilessly thrusts the nail towards me right before my eyes. She is shot from the side by numerous light bullets. I fall to the ground. The bullet cuts the chain, and I am unceremoniously dropped on my ass. The servant in black turns around. She jumps to the tree branch and retreats like a beast.
エミヤ君、無事？
As soon as Tosaka runs up to me, she takes my hand.
とにかく血止めしないと。エミヤ君、何か巻くもの持ってない？
ハンカチ発見。いつも桜が用意してくれてるんで、きっと清潔。
似た者同士か。けどないよりマシよ。私のタオルとそれでなんとか格好ぐらいはつけられる。
She takes my pulse while murmuring what sounds like a spell. It must be a styptic and painkiller, since my right arm feels a bit better. Tosaka diligently puts the handkerchief on my wound and wraps my right arm with a towel. Seeing her profile again confirms it. Tosaka is as good a person as she is beautiful. Up until 3 days ago, she was just someone that I admired from afar and thought of as a model student. Now that I've had a chance to get to know her, she's definitely far from that pedestal, but the person beneath it is all still worthy of admiration. My heart's throbbing. My pulse is racing. Tosaka's a good person. She's so close to me right now that we're about to touch, and she's so beautiful that I can forgive her for everything that's happened until now. I can't think straight.
よし。応急処置はこんなところね。それで、あいつ何だったの？追いついたらとんでもないことになってたから、とにかく援護してみたけど。
俺もわからない。ここまで追いかけてきて襲われた。
I concisely explain what happened. I decide not to say anything about seeing Shinji. It could have been my imagination, and even if it was him, I have no proof that he's connected with that servant.
そんな顔するな。正体はつかめなかったけど、ともかくあいつもサーバントだろ。なら俺たち以外に
そうね。学校に私たち以外のマスターがいるってことは知ってたけど、ようやく尻尾を出したってわけか。
Tosaka sighs. It seems like Tosaka had already realized about the third master a while ago. In any case, is that master the one who attacked the female student?
待った、トサカ。さっきの子はどうなった？
持ち直したわ。今は保健室で寝かせてあるから、もう大事はないと思う。
そうか。それはよかった。
I sigh with relief. Then that means all the pressing matters have been solved. So all that's left is...
何よ、人のことじーっと見て。言っとくけど、私はあんなことしないからね。
I don't know how she misunderstood. Tosaka sometimes makes weird misunderstandings.
な、そんなの分かってる。トサカがあんな真似するもんか。俺が言ってるのはそうじゃなくて、さっきの続きだよ。どうするんだ？やるのか、やらないのか。
Hearing that, Tosaka freezes. I wonder how long that lasted. Tosaka glares at me once, and then hangs her head in defeat. I mean, okay, but it sure is uncomfortable with you making a face like that so close to me.
トサカ、どうするんだよ。
やらない。今日はここまでにする。なんだかしらけちゃったし、また借りができちゃったし。
She stands up and dusts her knees.
じゃあ行くわよ。辛いだろうけど、うちに着くまで我慢して。
Tosaka offers me a hand. I tilt my head and look into Tosaka's eyes.
だから、私の家に行くわよって言ってるの。エミヤ君、自分じゃその傷治せないんだから。
いや、それはそうだけど、なんで？
なんでも何もないわよ。その傷、治療しないと壊死しちゃうじゃない。それで動かなくなったりしたら、私の落ち度みたいじゃない。
No, wait. I don't get it at all. Tosaka's house is in the residential area on the other side of town. There are Western-style houses near the top of the residential area, but I've never been there. I know of the area, but I don't have any first-hand experience. It's basically unknown territory. Then, this is the famous Western-style mansion at the top of the hill, the home of Tosaka, a mage with prestigious lineage. I look up at the mansion, dumbfounded. Well, I'm used to seeing things like this because of Shinji's house, but this has its own aesthetic.
エミヤ君、玄関こっちだけど。
分かってる分かってる。
I clear my throat and follow after Tosaka. Man, it's understandable to be wary of entering another master's home, but the real thing throwing me for a loop is the thought that it's Tosaka's place. So, this is the Tosaka household's living room, where Rin Tosaka spends her daily life.
それじゃあ腕を見せて。
She gets straight to the point.
悪い、頼む。
I sit on the chair and put my right arm out. She takes off the towel that was wrapped around it. It feels like she's even closer now than before. With Tosaka tending to my arm right in front of me, I can't help but notice how beautiful her black hair is. It makes my heart beat faster.
あれ、おかしいな。傷口がさっきより小さくなってる。エミヤ君、自然治癒のまじないでもかけてるの？
いや、そんなことないぞ、断じて。
そうなの？その割には傷、もうほとんど塞がってるんだけど。
いや、だから別に綺麗だとかなんとか。って、今、なんて言った、父さん。
だから傷はほとんど治ってるって言ったの。私がしたのは血止めだけだから治ってるなんてことはないはずなんだけど。
そんなこと言われても知らないぞ俺。
本当？前にもこんなことがあったけど本当に心当たりないの？
待った、ますますわからない。前もあったってどのくらい前のことだ？
前は前よ。エミヤ君、バーザーカーに襲われた後、背中にざっくり破片が刺さったでしょ。あの後、私が手を加えなくても傷は治ってたし。まあ、あの時はあなた自身の魔術だと思ってたんだけど、そんな器用じゃないものね、あなた。
はいはい、不器用で悪かったな。けど、それってどういうことだ？俺、今までそんなことはなかったけど。
そうね。考えられるとしたら、セイバーと契約したことが原因じゃないかな。エミヤ君とセイバーがどんな契約を結んだかは知らないけど、サーバントの中には契約者を不死にする者もいるっていうから、セイバー自身の自然治癒能力がそのままエミヤ君にも流れているのかもしれない。
なら、セイバーと契約している限りは怪我をしてもなんとかなるってことか。
まあそういうことになるけど、それは当てにしない方がいいわよ。結局あなたの傷を治してるのはセイバーってことになるんだから、セイバーの魔力を消費することになるし、何よりあなたのは傷を癒す力であって生を返すものじゃないわ。死んでしまえばそれまでなんだから、今回みたいな無茶は控えなさい。
While she says all this, before I even know it, she's finished her treatment and rebandaged my arm. She taps my arm and stands.
さて、それじゃあお茶でも入れようか。エミヤ君、砂糖とミルクどっちがいい？
あ、いや、どっちもいらないけど、父さん、その前に教えてくれないか？
いいけど、何？
さっき言ってたことだよ。学校にもう一人マスターがいて、そいつが何かしてるって。
ああ、そのこと？そっか、エミヤ君じゃ結界には気づかないか。まあ簡潔に言うとね、学校には私とあなた以外にもう一人マスターがいて、さっきみたいなことを繰り返してるのよ。
Funny enough, we know that that's Shinji doing everything. Attacking people, putting up the bounded field. The image of the collapsed female student appears in my mind. She was pale and she would have died if Tosaka didn't run over to her.
マスターはマスターだけを狙うわけじゃないか。あの神父が言ってたことだけど、なんでそんなことをするんだ？
聖杯戦争に勝つためでしょう。サーバントは人の精神を食べれば食べるほど魔力を蓄えられる。学校にいるマスターはね、うちの生徒をみんな生贄にして自分のサーバントを強くしようって魂胆なんでしょう。
生徒を生贄にするって正気かそいつ。さ
あ、けど学校にはすでに結界が張られてる。まだ完成してないけど、一度発動すればあの敷地にいる人間はみんな衰弱死するでしょうね。まあそんなことは私が許さないけど。
Tosaka explained in a straightforward manner. This must be something she's known for days. That's why she knew what she had to do and went to school, even though she told me not to. She knew it's dangerous to be there, but she still went to stop the master who set up the bounded field. I'm ashamed of myself. It's only natural that Tosaka got irritated seeing me come to school without any thought. I wasn't prepared for anything, as I was nonchalantly basking in my everyday life at school.
ちょっとどうしたのよ、さっきから落ち込んじゃって。私何か言っちゃった？
She looks at me worriedly. I bet she's making weird mental gymnastics again.
いや、そうじゃないんだ。ただお前には勝てないなってそう思った。
I feel like it's wrong for me to just apologize, so I try my best to put my feelings into words.
なんだよ、今のは別にさっきのことじゃなくてだな。
分かってるわよ。それよりエミヤくん、とりあえず休戦しない？
Then she made a surprise attack on me with a smile that makes my heart jump.
休戦って俺と遠坂で？
そう、学校に潜むマスターはたちが悪いし、エミヤくんも敵に知られちゃったしね。私としてはあなたより先にあっちを片付けておきたいの。だからそれまで休戦して二人でさっきのマスターを探さない？
Takes me aback, but I should consider it carefully. No, don't overthink it. What Tosaka's saying is correct, and most of all, I can't ignore this master. First of all, I decided to fight so that I can stop masters who hurt innocent people.
どう？悪い条件じゃないと思うけど。
ああ、遠坂が力を貸してくれるなら頼もしい。
待った。別に私はエミヤくんに力を貸すわけじゃないわ。ただ休戦協定を結んだだけよ。
敵の敵は味方なんてわけにはいかないか。
ええ、けどそれまでは信頼して。あなたが私を裏切らない限り、私はエミヤくんを助けるから。
She declares. This is so like her, and I'm genuinely grateful for this good fortune.
よかった。それなら遠坂はずっと味方だ。これからよろしくな、遠坂。
I nod and hold my right arm out.
短い間だろうけど、せいぜい役に立ってよね。
Tosaka sounds ungracious, but I'm not falling for it. For all her bluster, she still takes my hand and gives it a firm shake.
なるほどね。道理でおかしいと思った。つまりエミヤくんは正式な後継者じゃないんだ。魔術刻印を引き継ぐ前にお父さんが死んじゃったんでしょ？
どうなのかな。親父は俺に魔術刻印を引き継がせる気はなかったみたいだし、魔術師になるのには反対してた。
けどエミヤくんに魔術は教えたのよね。なんか矛盾してない？それ
かもな。親父、俺が諦めないから仕方なく教えたって感じだったし、初めに魔術師じゃなく魔術使いになれなんて言ってたし。
We talk about unimportant stuff for a while.
協力関係になった以上、エミヤ家の事情が知りたい。
Since Tosaka asked me that, we started talking about how I learned magecraft. Kiritsugu Emiya was a lone wolf mage, and an outsider to this region. By contrast, Tosaka's family has a prestigious lineage that matches this land. Normally, a mage from outside must show some good faith to the mage that keeps the land they stay in, but Kiritsugu didn't do so. Actually, he hid the fact that he was a mage. It seems that as Rin Tosaka is the head of the Tosaka family, she's the manager of this area at her young age. She was entrusted with it 10 years ago, and she said that it's only recently that she actually became able to protect the land. For that reason, the Tosaka family was aware of Kiritsugu Emiya's existence, or his son for that matter.
魔術使いか。それじゃあエミヤ君、本当に素人なんだ。自分が使える魔術以外、魔導の知識はないわけね。
ああ、そういうこと。俺が使えるのは強化だけだからな。他のことは名称とか概要とか、そんなことしかわからない。さっきだって強化で机を縦にしただけだし、あれにしたって今までで一番うまくできた魔術だった。
ちょっと本気？なんでそんなことまで私に喋るのよ、あんたは。
Then she gets mad for an entirely different reason.
なんだ、トサカ。今の突っ込むところか。
You know, you're gonna have to go back to fighting each other at some point, so why tell her that, man?
突っ込むところっていうか、エミヤ君、私たち手を組んだけど、それでも内緒にしなくちゃいけないことってあるでしょ。手の内は隠しておくべきだし、第一、魔術師にとって自分の魔術は隠し通すべきものよ。
そうか？今さら隠しても仕方がないだろう。そりゃ人には言えないことだけど、トサカは魔術師だ。話しても問題ない。それに相手が何であれ、魔術は必死になって隠すことじゃないって親父は言ってたし。
何それ？エミヤ君の父親、本気でそんなこと言ってたの？
ああ、あんまり規則にとらわれるなって言いたかったんじゃないかな、親父は。魔術なんてものは覚えない方がいいし、やめたければいつでもやめろって口癖だったぞ。
Tosaka grits her teeth. I don't know what she's so irritated about, but Tosaka radiates hostility like never before.
ふざけないで。あなたの父親は魔術師じゃないわ。そんな奴に鍛えられたあなたも魔術師なんて認めないから。
トサカ、落ち着け。何怒ってるんだよ、お前。いや、確かにお前に比べたら俺は魔術師なんて名乗れないけど、親父は立派な魔術師だったぞ。
そうじゃない。私が言いたいのはそういうことじゃない。私が許せないのは、その。
That what? She got herself worked up, but having said that, her anger seems to dissipate.
ごめんなさい。ちょっとどうかしてた。鍛え方は人それぞれだものね。私は私に胸を張ってるんだから、エミヤ君をどうこう言えるはずがなかった。
わからないな。何か気に障ったことでもあったのか？その親父の教え方とか俺の未熟さとか。
そうね、エミヤ君の未熟っぷりには文句あるわよ。何年も魔術を鍛えていて強化しか知らないところとか、そういう弱みを私に教えちゃうところとか。
Tosaka smiles suggestively. I think I just felt a chill run down my spine.
そうだな。今すっごく後悔してる。けど仕方ないだろ。俺には強化ぐらいしか取り柄がないし、親父は死んじまったんだから、それ以外のことを教わる方法はなかったんだ。
ええ、それが独り身の魔術師の限界ね。魔術師なんていつ死ぬかわからないんだから、そのために魔術刻印を残すんだし、教会と手を組むんじゃない。私が頭に来たのはね、そのあたりの努力を全くしなかったあなたの父親によ。魔術師の魔術はその魔術師だけのものじゃない。魔術ってのは親から子へ何代も何代も続けられてきた命の成果だもの。その責任はもう自分だけのものじゃなくなるのよ。だからそれを教わるってことは、 後の世代にそれを渡すってことが第一条件になる。魔術師の家に生まれた子供は
Oh, right. She
誕
doesn't
生し
know
た
he's
瞬間に
adopted.
後継者であり伝承者でもあるの。私たちはそのために生まれてそのために死ぬ。魔術師の子供は初めから人間じゃない。人として生まれたものを長い年月と厳しい修練によって別のものに変えるのが魔術師という家系の義務だから。エミヤ君のお父さんは魔術師なんかじゃない。あなたの父親は魔術師である前に親を取ったのよ。
She explains without making eye contact and looks away. To be honest, I don't know why Tosaka is mad. How Tosaka felt being raised in this house. What kind of training she went through as the daughter of a mage and how much she had to sacrifice. No matter how hard I try to imagine, I'll never be able to be like her.
なあトサカ、もしかしてそれで俺を目の敵にしてたのか。魔術師としての心構えがなってないから。
そうよ。あなたのことは嫌いじゃないけど魔術師としては認められないものだから。つい気を据えるっていうかつっつきたくなったの。
いや悪いけど忠告は助かった。今日のことがなかったら学校のマスターにも気づかなかったし、遠坂とも手を組めなかった。
I stare at her in affirmation. Tosaka groans uncomfortably.
もうなんだってこんなのがセイバーのマスターなのよ。
Her complaint really comes out of left field. We've been talking for so long, it's already gotten dark. It's almost 7 p.m. It's almost 7 p.m. I need to get home soon, or else Saber will get mad.
じゃあ遠坂、マスター探しは学校でするんだな。
ええ、明日の放課後廊下で待ち合わせましょう。ああ、それと帰りはアーチャーをつけてあげる。私はやることがあるから送ってあげられないけど、アーチャーがいれば問題ないでしょ。
I completely forgot until she mentioned him. This is Tosaka's house, so of course Archer would be here. Hey, Archer. The knight in red Archer takes form. Come to think of it, this is my first time actually facing him. The servant that fought Saber and almost got his head cut off by her. The man who paid no heed to Saber and even tried to bury her along with Berserker. Might be because of those things. When I faced him and looked him in the eyes, I instinctively felt that I hate him. It's probably that I'll never accept him. Maybe it's the same for Archer as he stares at me with enmity. That's just what I want. If he hates me, I can hate him back without any guilt.
よろしくね、アーチャー。彼とは協力関係になったから襲いかかったりしちゃダメよ。
分かっている。マスターの指示には従うさ。
Archer disappears. Since he can't go outside dressed like that, it must mean he will escort me in spirit form. I walk through the darkening town. It's not yet 7 p.m., so there are still people around. I don't think an escort is necessary, but I have no reason to turn down her goodwill. But maybe I should have declined. I feel on edge. The goosebumps on my skin are going crazy, and I feel like I'll hurl from the tension. I feel hostility piercing my back. The invisible guard is the most cautious of me, the person he's supposed to be protecting. What the hell kind of protection is this? The sensation is being caused by him. My very nerves are being worn out by this guy behind me.
この辺りでいい。あんまり近づくと前みたいなことになりかねない。
I tell the presence behind me. Archer doesn't answer. He just accepts my complaint and tries to leave.
待てよ。なんか言いたいことがあるんじゃないのか、お前。
I glare at the invisible guy. The presence trying to leave stops. He takes a form with his hostility still present.
見直したよ。殺気を感じ取れる程度には心得があるらしい。いや、てっきり虫も殺さない平和主義者だと思っていたが、
バカにすんな。これでも魔術師だぞ、俺は。相手がやる気だって言うんならいくらでも相手になる。
I confront the knight in red with all my might so that I don't get overpowered. He gives me a mocking smirk and shrugs.
たわけたこと。血の匂いがしない魔術師など半人前だ。死にそう教わらなかったのか、エミやシロ。
My spirit weakens. Yeah, Kiritsugu certainly said so. Mages are stained with blood. It doesn't matter whether you hurt others or not. Even if you don't do it yourself, the path moving forward is paved with blood. That's why Kiritsugu said not to become a mage.
俺からは血の匂いがしないっていうのか、お前は。
無論だ。その点においてもエミやシロはマスターには向いていない。リンとは大違いだな。
なんだそれ。遠坂は血の匂いがするっていうのか。
するとも。あれはいささか甘すぎる嫌いはあるが、それでも手を下すときは容赦すまい。そうでなくては連日マスターを探して街を巡回などしないさ。
Looking around for masters every day. That means she's fighting other masters. It's not like she's done once she finds them. Then,
じゃあ遠坂は今日みたいなことを毎日してるのか。
the incident at school. The same thing as what happened in the woods?
まさか今日のような低たらくは今回限りにしてほしいものだ。あれだけの意志と能力を持った魔術師がお前を相手にするとどうも年相応に戻ってしまう。だいたい彼女の能力ならエミやシロと協力する必要などないのだ。にもかかわらず余分なことをしている。私としては協力など反対なのだが、まあ仕方があるまい。サーバントはマスターに従うものだ。そうだろエミやシロ。たとえマスターが役に立たない未熟者でもサーバントは従わなければならないということだ。
I'd swear he's talking about me and Saber.
そうかよ。遠坂も気の毒だな。お前みたいなひねくれ者と組まされてな。
まったく呆れる。まだそんなことを口にするのか。忠告するがサーバントの性格など考慮するな。我らはただ戦うために呼び出された者。所詮サーバントは霊樹でつながれた道具に過ぎない。支配権はお前たちにあるのだから道具のざれ言など聞き流す。
I can't tell him that that's not the case. What archer who is bound as such said the truth. Says the truth. I can't think of Saber as a tool, but it is true that Saber is bound by the command spells.
で呼び止めた要件は何だ。まさか親睦を深めようなどとふざけた理由ではあるまい。
Ugh. There's no reason. I just don't like him, so I needed to complain.
そうだ。あーちゃん、お前も聖杯が欲しいのか。
I ask an obvious question in desperation. Then,
聖杯？はあ、人間の望みを叶えるという悪質な宝箱か。興味はないな。私の望みはそんなものでは叶えられまい。
the knight in red so declares, his disdain obvious.
なんだって。
That's contradictory. Servants desire the Holy Grail. Isn't that why they answer the call of their mage and become a servant?
待て、おかしいぞお前。なら、なんでサーバントになんてなってんだよ。
成り行き上仕方なくだ。私に自由意志などない。お前はサーバントが自らの意志で呼び出しに応じているとでも思っているのだろうがな。
Don't have free will. Does that mean he was called against his will even though he's not interested in the Holy Grail?
幸せな男だ。本当に考えたことはなかったのか？いいか。サーバントとは呼び出されるものだ。いいな。英霊とは全て自らの意志ではなく他者の意志によって呼び出される。過去の功績によって英霊となり、以後は人々の間で語り継がれ、その支えになるものだが、その当の英霊自身が心の底から人間の助けになりたいなどと思っていると。
いや、それは。
If they are called heroic spirits, they must be noble to some degree. That's why I have the impression of them protecting people, but that's not the case for many of the servants that I've encountered.
そうだ。もともと英霊というものに意志などない。英霊となったものは以後ただ人間を守る力として置かれるだけだ。何かこちらで不都合があった場合のみ呼び出され、その後始末をして消えるだけの存在。あるがないもの。人の世の危機を救おうが誰にも認識されないもの。それが英霊。なってしまったが最後意志を剥奪され、永遠に人間のために働き続ける掃除屋に過ぎん。
Summoned only to disappear. Heroic spirits are tools without a will.
そんなはずはない。セイバーもお前もちゃんと意志があるじゃないか。そりゃ自分の意志とは無関係に呼び出されたかもしれないけど、それでもこっちに出てきてからの選択肢はあるんじゃないのか。セイバーだってやりたくないことはやらないって突っぱねるし。
当然だろう。我々はサーバントだ。誰が作ったシステムだか知らんが、この戦いはよくできている。本来本体からの触覚でしかない英霊に形を与え、本体そのものとして刺激するのだからな。サーバントという殻を与えられた英霊はその時点で元の人間性を取り戻せる。かつての執念、かつての無念とともにな。故にサーバントは聖杯を求めるのだろうよ。聖杯を得れば叶わなかった無念を晴らせるだろうし、短い時間であれ人間としてこの世界にとどまれるのだから。
人間としてとどまれる。
That must mean they can be free as an individual and not as a servant. In addition, the Holy Grail has the power to grant wishes. If it means that they can grant the wishes they had before they died, then it makes sense for servants to cooperate with their masters. So the Holy Grail is a miracle that came out of nowhere to heroic spirits as well.
なんでそこまでのものを。なんでお前はいらないって言うんだ。叶えられなかった願いを叶えられるし、サーバントで亡くなることだってできるっていうのに。
単純な話だ。私には叶えられない願いなどなかった。他の連中とは違う。私は望みを叶えて死に英霊となった。故に叶えたい望みなどないし、人としてここに留まることにも興味はない。それはお前のサーバントも同じだろうさ。
バカ言うな。セイバーは聖杯が必要だって言ったんだ。お前みたいに目的がなくてサーバントをやってるわけじゃない。
私の目的。
Archer murmurs, stunned. I wonder why. He was just muttering to himself, but I felt the chill.
目的があろうとなかろうと同じだ。気になるのならば問いただしてみるがいい。セイバーの目的は聖杯でありながら、決して聖杯を自分のためには使わない。そういった意味であれは典型的な守護者。文字通り奴隷なのだ。 そのことを。彼女のマスターであるのなら決して忘れないことだ。
His presence disappears. The knight in red hurls spiteful remarks until the very end as he leaves. Even though I don't really feel it, I try to carry on with a normal routine. Feels like a lot is going on in the living room. I bet Fujine is watching TV and Sakura's preparing dinner. Saber, is she in the living room? I shake my head when Archer's words flash through my mind. I don't know what he wanted to say, nor do I want to know. But it's stuck in my head and I can't ignore it. A familiar called a servant. His honest opinion, scorning heroic spirits like they're merely a cleanup crew. I see that all the ingredients are cut up already. Sakura is efficient, so surely all that's left is to simmer them.
セイバーは今にはいないようだけど。
セイバーさんでしたら和室の方で眠っています。先輩が帰ってきたら起こしてほしいと言っていましたけど。
セイバー、もしかして怒ってたか？
そんなことはなかったと思いますよ。セイバーさん、いつもキッとしてますから。
If Sakura is hesitant to say it, it must mean that Saber was really mad. It's only natural though, since I broke our promise of coming home before dark.
や、おかえりしろ。セイバーちゃん怒ってたよ。帰ってきたら道場で話があるって。
Fujine makes a frightening statement while munching on a mandarin.
藤ね、なんかセイバーに変なこと吹き込んだりしてないだろうな。その約束を破ったやつは道場でしないうちの刑だとかなんとか。
したよ。うちは体育会系だから容赦なくやっちゃっていいって。
I say, the other masters aren't my only problem. An enemy force has already infiltrated my home.
つかぬことを聞くけどな。藤ね、セイバーを道場に連れて行ったのか。稽古するなら市内を使えって。
うん。さっき軽く手合わせしたんだけど、あの子とんでもないわよ。剣道を知らないくせに私以上に剣道家っぽいんだもん。あの子向こうでフェンシングでもやってたの？
いや、フェンシングはやってないと思う。どっちかっていうと藤ねとキャラが被る。
Like how she swings around a huge sword that doesn't suit her frame, or how she attacks enemies like a wild animal.
いや、自業自得として観念しよう。それより藤ね、三綴りのことだ。あいつ家に帰ってるのか？
え？なんでシローが知ってるのよ。三綴りさんのことは知らされていないはずよ。
まあ、生徒会室で盗み聞きしたんだ。それでどうなんだよ。三綴り見つかったのか
？I stare at Fujine. Fujine is still a teacher, even if she may not seem like one. She keeps quiet about things she shouldn't talk about. I'm sure she'd lie to keep students calm. So I have to make sure I don't overlook anything she says or does when it comes to this.
どうなんだ藤ね。やっぱり一向に変化なしなのか？
仕方ないな。黙ってたら今すぐ飛び出しそうだし、絶対秘密って話でもないし。けどシロー、今回は特別だからね。シローが
分かってる。オンに切るから早く。
じゃあ結論から。三綴さん、さっき保護されたわよ。今頃は検査も終わって家に帰ってるんじゃないかしら。
She was drained of all her energy, right?
ちょっと意識が混濁してるらしいけど、外傷もないし命に別状もないって。それ以上の話はダメ。シローも友達なら三綴さん本人から聞きなさい。
そうか。とにかく 大事はなかったんだな、あいつ。
I'm glad. I still don't know what Mitsuzuri got into, but I can tell that it has something to do with the strange incidents happening in town. There's a high possibility that the culprit is the master hiding at my school. I don't know what I would have done if something happened to Mitsuzuri.
そうだ。さくら、ちょっといいか。
はい。何ですか、先輩。
いや、大したことじゃない。ただ、シンジがどうしているか知らないかなって。
すみません、先輩。昨日はこちらに泊めてもらって学校に行ったでしょ。だから家には帰ってないんです。先生にも兄さんが無断欠席したって聞いたんですけど、
事情はわからないか。そうだよな。さくらが知ってるわけないし。ごめん、見当違いなことを聞いちまった。い
え、そんなことありません。兄さんのことは私が一番よく知っているんですから。兄さんが休んだ理由ぐらい気づかないといけないでしょ。
いや、そんなことはないだろう。実際さくらがうちにいてくれて助かったし。
The incident in the woods. If the one that was there was actually Shinji, then he has to have some kind of connection to the servant in black. Worst case scenario, there's a possibility that he's the master. If that's the case, wouldn't it be dangerous to let Sakura go back to the Mato household?
先輩、それはどういう。
さくら、今夜もうちに泊まってけ。着替えなら藤根のを使っていいから。
先輩、それは
できるならしばらく泊まり続けてくれると助かる。いや、さくらが迷惑だって言うんなら帰ってくれていいんだが。
Oh. Right, this is really coming out of nowhere for her. It really puts her on the spot, too.
すまん、困らせるようなこと言って悪かった。
I bow my head in apology. Then,
はい、お言葉に甘えます。
Sakura nods and agrees so quietly that it blends in with the sound of the brewing stew. It's getting late. After dinner, I went to the dojo with Saber to receive punishment. Saber called it training, but I swear she was just bullying me, and when we finished it was past 10 p.m. The three of them are rooming together again. Fujine and Sakura already turned in.
シロ、どうしました？部屋に戻るのではないのですか？
ああ、戻るよ。ただその前にセイバーに聞いておきたいことがあって。
気になることですか？どうぞ。私に答えられることであれば構いませんが。
I guess I should get straight to the point. What Archer said. Servants who have no freedom desire the Holy Grail to obtain freedom. Saber should be the same, but he said that she doesn't seek freedom.
セイバー、お前は聖杯が必要なんだよな。
はい。私の目的は聖杯です。そのために私は英霊になった。それは以前にも話したはずですが。
分かってる。けどそれは何のためなんだ。聖杯さえ手に入れればサーバントはマスターがいなくてもこっちにとどまってられるんだろう。ならセイバーは聖杯を手に入れてここでやりたいことをやるんだよな。
いいえ、聖杯を手に入れた後、私はこの世界から去るだけです。この時代の人間ではない私がここにいることは許されませんし、何より私にはやりたいことなどありませんから。
Her eyes are determined. There's absolutely no hesitation or deceit in them, and no room for me to argue the point.
そうか。セイバーの目的が何なのかはわからないから強くは言えないけど。
Well, I'm starting to think that it's unlike Saber to ask for a wish from the Holy Grail. I don't know what the Holy Grail is, but I have a feeling deep down that it isn't the sort of thing this golden-haired girl ought to pursue.
約束したからな。セイバーに聖杯を手に入れさせるって。今はそれを信じよ
何かあったのですか、シロ。どうも帰ってきてからのあなたは覇気がないように思いますが。
そんなことはないけどな。だってそうだ、セイバー今後の方針なんだが。
Saber looks serious again. As expected of her, no matter how close she gets with Fujine, Saber is still Saber. It's annoying, but just as Archer said, fighting is her true nature.
今日学校に行ってそこに3人目のマスターがいるってことが分かったんだ。そこで遠坂と一波乱起きた。いろいろあって学校に潜んでいるマスターを探し出すまで遠坂とは休戦協定を結んだんだが。
In a rush, I report what happened. Saber was listening with a serious face at first, but as the story went on, she started looking at me in dissatisfaction.
セイバー、遠坂と協力するのは反対か？
いいえ、シロには知識がないのですから、リンから学ぶのは賛成です。ですが、そういった大事を決めたのならすぐに伝えてほしい。それと、できるのなら相談も。
With reproach in her tone, Saber stares me down. I'm ashamed of myself since she's absolutely right.
では、明日からはリンと協力して校舎を探索するのですね。
そういうことになる。何か異常を見つけたらセイバーを呼ぶから、それまで待機していてくれ。
方針としては手ぬるいですが、シロが先頭になれるまではちょうどいいでしょう。当面は学校に結界を張ったマスターを追うのですね。
I nod. After thinking for a bit,
確認しますが、学校に潜むマスターを倒した後はリンとの休戦協定は白紙に戻り、彼女とは敵同士に戻る。それに間違いはありませんね。
Saber asks to make sure. Well, I can't say for sure. Can't say for sure. I'm sort of in Tosaka's debt, and really I just don't want to fight her in the first place.
ダメだ。まだ断言はできない。学校のマスターを倒してもまだ先があるかもしれないだろ。バーサーカーっていう怪物もいるんだ。協力し合えるならできる限り協力した方がいい。
そうですか。マスターがそう言うのならば従いますが、それではシロが辛いだけになる。その時になって自らの選択を悔やまないでください。
Saber takes a bow and dismisses herself. Yeah, I know. The more we cooperate, the greater the likelihood that there will be an inevitable fight in the end. It'd be easier if I just got over this mental hurdle and considered my enemy from the get-go. Otherwise, it'll cut deeper once we do part ways. Because whether I win or Tosaka wins, the survivor has to finish off the loser. Alright, we'll call it a day here. The next episode, we'll search the school for the other master, which we all know is just fucking Shinji. Alright, I'll see you all in the next one then. Bye!